Hi everyone, Luca from lucasphotography.com, and today I'm gonna probably reveal what is the best system, flash system of camera flash for Fuji. Now, one of the problem I had is that with my Fuji XT1, which is here, one of them, I was actually using Godox system. So the Godox system I used was the Godox V850, which is this one, and the Godox AD360, which worked perfectly well with the XT1. And as a trigger, I use the X1, which is really good trigger because it's nicely, you can use it quite easily. I think I've made a review about it where I explain how to use it, so go and check this out if you are interested in this system. Unfortunately, the X1 doesn't work with the XT2. So I was a bit tricked because in my last wedding, I could only use flash with the XT1, which is kind of annoying, especially that I use two cameras all the time. So it got complicated and I decided to completely change my system and try to find a system which is going to allow me to use, on both camera and without any issues. And it's quite difficult to find. So what I've done is I've posted on Facebook on the Fuji X photography site, what flash system do you use for your XT2? And I got 19 comments, so I got a bit of everything. We've got the Godox system. No, it was no Godox system actually. Yes, it was one who used the Godox system, this system, but he said he had to modify the Ocho. I'm sorry, but I don't know how to modify this, and I don't want to modify it. The Fuji X500, which is a new one, but in Europe it costs €500. So that's really expensive, more expensive than Nikon or Canon units. Nissin i40, which is very good. Pocket Wizard with Canon strobes. The Cactus system, Godox system with the Cactus triggers. The only problem with all the system, obviously apart from Yongnuo as well, the only problem with all the system is that apart from the Fuji system, is that they're all not made for Fuji. They're all made for Canon or for other brands which kind of happen to work on Fuji. Now, I believe Cactus triggers does work, but the problem with Cactus trigger is that if you have Godox flash, so I have Godox flash and I want to use the Cactus trigger, so I will need to take my XT2, put the Cactus trigger on it, then put the Godox system on it, then have another Cactus on top. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's honestly ridiculous. So, it took me time, but I think I've finally found it. Let's open it. And there it is. Yes, I've chosen the Nissin system, the i60A with the Air 1 remote. Now, the Nissin i60A really packed a lot of great things. So for the Fuji camera, you now have TTL, you have HSS, so that's high speed sync, so you can go over the actual 1/250th of a second, which is incredible. We have a video light, which is a very small video light, but can be quite handy for little things like detail shots or things like that. We have a group number, and listen to that, of 60. This is more than much bigger flash that you can find on that price. When I talk to Yongnuo, when I've seen Yongnuo or Godox or other flash in this same type and price bracket, this one is actually more powerful and much smaller. We have a 2.4 GHz wireless transmitter. So obviously this is a very good transmitter which allows you to shoot the flash beyond walls or beyond obstruction like people. You also have obviously 4 AA batteries which you can use, so this you can use rechargeable. And to control all this, well, we have the Air 1 trigger, which has the most futuristic look I have ever seen. I believe the other Nissin, which is the D700IA, also have the same system. It's beautiful, but all this will be obviously covered in my full review. So there it is, the Air 1, which is the Nissin trigger, which you will put on top of your camera, like so. Fits perfectly. And the flash. Now, as you can see, the flash is a bit weird, It's got a very long kind of flash module here. which seem to be just the place to put your 4 batteries there. Obviously this is just an unboxing when I'm showing you the flash out of the box. So if we compare it to the Godox AD360, let me take off the... So we have a much bigger unit here, a much smaller unit. Now, if you put on the side, you've got this system which is a bit longer, but if you look inside, because what's happening is, because of the zoom, if you look inside the Godox or any other flash, you will find that the flash is not that big, it's actually smaller, and it goes up and down depending on your zoom. Here what's happening is the flash is much bigger, so what Nissin's done is, instead of having a lot of empty space there, they've compacted this, so it allows you to have a much nicer, a much smaller end. Now the flash, you can turn it like any other flash. You have the little white card if you need to, and if you take it, if you allonge it like that, is just a bit smaller than the V850 Godox. Now if we compare it to the Godox AD360, obviously it's a huge difference. Now the reason I got this system is because this system is actually built for Fuji. So Nissin has made this for Fuji, like many other brands haven't done. So you know that you're not gonna have an issue. The problem with Godox or any other Yongnuos or things like this is that if Fuji decide to upgrade its firmware and somehow they touch the flash system and doesn't allow other system to use it, they can do it, because those systems have not been made for it. They've been made for Canon. That's what we've been using. Because one of the problems is that third-party flash have been any third-party accessories like flashes, lenses, we've been very limited with Fuji because it's kind of a brand new system. You know, it's only a few years old. So brands like Sigma, Tamron haven't made any flash for us, you know. We've been using a Fuji system, which is great, but you know, I don't say I wouldn't like to have a nice Sigma on my camera, which I used to love. And with the flash system is about the same. So now with this, we can finally use proper Fuji system for our Fuji cameras. So obviously what comes next will be the review of the units once I've used it. I have a wedding on Saturday, so I will be using this unit fully and let you know by next week or 2 weeks what I think about it. Now the great thing about it is that this has a guide number of 60. Now I've taken a few notes, and the Godox, which is bigger unit, has a guide number of 58. The Yongnuo 560 version 4 has also a guide number of 58. To compare it, the guide number of Nikon SB910 is 64. Now we've got this little unit here, and that is 60. So that's a really powerful flash for the size. If you happen to use your flash on camera, which is something I don't really do, but it can happen, well, it doesn't look weird actually on the Fuji. It looks a bit like the Fuji flash that they just released. It's small and compact, but this one has a hell of a punch at the guide number 60. You can orient it as much as you want. The feeling is really good, you know, it feels very solid. You use AA batteries, which is something I don't like. One of the main reasons I went for Godox system is because they use lithium batteries, and for me lithium batteries is really the future of the batteries. I've got a little Superman here, by the way. Is really the future of the batteries, because this lasts, I could do 3 or 4 weddings with one battery, and the recycling is really fast. Now depending on the AA battery you use, you will have more or less a good recycling time or not, and they definitely won't last as long as those ones. So there you go guys, it is my quick unboxing of the Nissin i60A with the air system. My next review on this will be the use of it, so I will do a quick review. I may do a photo shoot with it and show you how I use it. If you have any question or any suggestion on the next reviews, post them down below, and that's pretty much it. So thanks for watching. See you soon. Bye bye.